Our very first speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Sujoy Prasad Chatterjee.
I must thank Joie and Shrudipto for having me here. And as my friend Sreelekha rightly mentioned, that it's a bit of a blasphemy, and it's still very unbelievable that with a little bit of work that I have done, I could even have the name of Tagore associated with an award that is being given to me. It's quite audacious for me to even accept an award. But yes, thank you for recognizing my work. I have nothing to add to what Professor Das and Professor Chatterjee talked about Rabindranath Tagore and his ideology and his oeuvre of writings. What I just need to add is one thing, that for me, he's my friend, he's my companion. He's not whom I worship in the cages of a religious shrine. I talk to him every day through his work, through his songs, mostly through his songs and poetry, because that's a part of my profession, because I work as a spoken word artist. So I'm deeply indebted to my school, where Professor Chatterjee had taught once upon a time, and I wasn't so lucky to have you as my teacher. But thanks to my school, and that as I'm growing up, as I'm aging forward and not backwards, I don't use that word for anything that I say. That's fine. But I would say that I increasingly feel that my school has imbibed in me my love for the arts and love for Tagore. What is supremely important for me is not just his internationalism, but his politics of humanity, which is what looms large over all the isms that he's ever spoken about in all his writings, in all his creations. And today, if we had to say that we don't need religious doctrines, but if one reads just the Gita-Vitan, forget about Gitanjali and other anthology of writings, it could well enough be a document to be read out or read with a lot of insight and interest by practicing politicians, leaders in the arena of politics, and understand that this man was not just ahead of his times, being a polymath, who, apart from being the first recipient of the first South Asian to have received the Nobel Prize for Literature, but also someone who believed strongly in the politics of humanity, but someone who healed the world with his writings. And as Professor Chatterjee rightly mentioned, when Europe was distraught with the bruises of the First World War, they all thought that Tagore was a saint. I mean, there are so many writings that almost hail him as a saint. The same what we do here, Thakur, Rabindranath Tagore. But he was not just a Thakur. He was a human being, full of vices and virtues like all of us. But above all, what is important to all of us is his politics of humanity, which is why we're talking about head being held high, soul being free. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a man, here is a human who has to be read every day to understand your path of emancipation, your path of liberation, because he taught us to chart out our own path of freedom. Thank you very much.